Hi everyone, my name is Michael, but you may also know me as Employee Gone Rogue, and I'm the person behind the Mirror's Edge Freefall project. Freefall started out about 2 or 3 years ago when I listened to a song that inspired me to make a music video in the universe of Catalyst, but I didn't want to use any pre-existing footage. I wanted to animate it myself. Back then though, that seemed pretty impossible because A, I don't know anything about animation, and B, I do not have the hardware to render a project as big as that. However, it wasn't too long before Blender 2.8 came out and introduced a new real-time graphics engine called Eevee. I tried messing around with a shot that I had already created, and I was just blown away by how much faster it was than Blender Cycle's ray tracing engine that Blender has, while also having that video gamey look to it. The main thing keeping me back was university and the crap ton of assignments that they were constantly assigning us. So the project sat in the back burner for a bit, but it was constantly brewing in my head into something bigger and something better. Sometime early this year, I discovered the Adobe Mixamo motion capture library, which not only was free and really extensive, but it also automatically generated rigs for character models. This automation would prove crucial in the production as it allowed me to spend less time worrying about animating 100+ characters, and it let me focus more on creating something that looked and felt like the real thing. When I heard that one of our assignments was to create a trailer for a movie that doesn't exist yet, but that we want to produce so that we can use it as a sort of proof of concept for the crowdfunding campaign that we also had to set up, I immediately jumped at the opportunity and got to work. The first step was to write the story, of course. It was more of a rough outline, but it described the key moments of the story, which helped me imagine better what the trailer might show. I then found music that I liked. Shout out to Format X Music, they're the artist behind both tracks that appear in the trailer. After mixing them around a bit and also adding my own instruments on top of them, I had the music for my entire video. This not only helped me visualize each cut better, but it also helped me to create each shot based on the melody context. Once I had it all down, I was ready to start gathering all the assets I would need. Using the Frosty editor tool, I exported the character models, the set dressing props, the textures and the sounds, pretty much everything that would appear in the trailer. I also recreated their materials so that they would look correct in engine. Meanwhile, I had also started blocking out a few of the easier scenes and testing out the animations I had downloaded. It was during this time that I felt like I might actually be able to do this. Besides making the trailer, part of the assignment was to create a crowdfunding campaign as well. Since I was dealing with a lot of copyright material, I couldn't create one because that would be illegal. During class, however, we talked about ARG events, which really captured my interest. According to Wikipedia, an ARG, or an alternate reality game, is an interactive network narrative that uses the real world as a platform and employs transmedia storytelling to deliver a story that may be altered by players' ideas or actions. Repurposing an old Twitter account, I created a profile of an employee from the City of Glass that had gone rogue and was posting cryptic messages, teasing parts of the story. This led up to June 9th, when I posted this picture of a door on the Mirror's Edge subreddit under the same alias. What happened next was indescribable. After being relatively quiet for quite a long time, the Mirror's Edge community was on fire like it used to be, creating theories, searching for clues, even making memes. It was such an exhilarating experience. 3 days later, after a series of back and forth between Employee Gone Rogue and the community, I revealed the title of the project as well as the fact that it was fan-made, because some people were starting to get irritated, thinking that it was nothing more than just a troll. After those 3 days, I got back to work trying to meet the initial deadline of July 11th, which I unfortunately did not make. I postponed the project to August and then once again to September 9, and even though literally everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong on the day of release, I managed to reach the finish line. Even though it wasn't an official project or anything, it still breathed life into the community and hopefully created enough conversation so that EA can start thinking about Mirror's Edge again. A lot of you asked me questions on my Ask Me Anything on Reddit as well as YouTube and Instagram, so I will be going over those now and answering them. Okay, first off, we've got the Equation. He's an EA rendering engineer, which is really cool, and he asks, is the voice deepfaked? It's surprisingly good despite some artifacts. So no, the voice course, it's not deepfaked. It's actually ripped off of an old Mirror's Edge animatic for the first game. The first time I heard it, I immediately thought that it would be perfect for a Mirror's Edge video, and it just so happened that it fit perfectly for what I wanted. It's a really cool video, you should check it out. Vlad asks, is this gonna be a film, a game, or a series of videos? So at this point, I think it's really clear that it's not gonna be anything more than just a trailer. But I would love to make that into an actual game. That would be amazing, so hit me up. Puro asks, considering the effort you have put in, are there any future plans for this project? I guess we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? DG asks, was a portion of the trailer made using the Frostbite engine? No, I made it in Blender. I'm poor and also not a DICE employee, so... Also, are there any plans for anything else Freefall related, or will the entire thing be left to rot? There is something that is being prepared. I can't tell you anything more about it right now, but I'm sure you'll find out really soon. I think it's gonna be really exciting. But yeah, I mean, unless DICE actually picks it up and makes it into a game, no, I don't think there's anything else to it. Also, hope you get a good grade for this. Thank you. I hope so too. Inequation asks again, I'm confused by the boy character. We'll learn basically nothing about him. They suggested a backstory that wasn't featured in the trailer at all. First he's a contemptuous highcast, then he's a prisoner and helps Faith, then a runner, without anything to explain what happened. So from all the teases and the ARG, we know that Aaron Miller, or Employee Gone Rogue, is a high-cast employee that loses someone very close to him in the bombing of the Shard, and basically he became obsessed with trying to find the people responsible, and it costs him his job, and eventually he gets arrested by KSEC and sent to Foodome Delta, where Faith also ends up at some point in the story, and they happen to escape together. Having nowhere else to go, he decides to join the runners, and he becomes a very important part of the story in Freefall. That's basically it. I don't want to spoil too much because I'm still thinking about how I could go about sharing more of the story with you. So yeah, I guess you'll know more about that whenever it happens. Zephyr asks, can you show me the model of the new Shard in South photo? It looks pretty crappy, but it's not meant to be seen up close. It's really a background model, so I didn't go too detailed. However, I did get inspiration from the concept art for Catalyst, where it shows a chunkier and bigger Shard. So that's where I got the idea for its general form. Pete asks, what was your favorite guess for what the F stood in meth? The name of the project file was in the metadata of the images that I shared, which I did not intend to do, and people found out that the project was called MEF, and we're trying to figure out what the F stood for, because obviously that was Mirror's Edge something. I wish I had a screen so there was a list of all the possible names, but I remember specifically that someone had correctly guessed Freefall, but for some reason in the list they said that it was confirmed to not be the case, I guess, which was really weird because that was actually what it was called. I don't know. Sorry, I don't remember. The 3D Cypher asks, what did you use to make this? How long did it take? Are you planning on making anything else? Thank you for making it! So I exclusively used Blender and the render engine Blender Eevee, which was really convenient for rendering in like an acceptable time frame. Including pre-production, it took me about 7 months. I started in March and released on September 9, so that's... Wait, no, that's 6 months, is it? Anyways, I started working in March, that's what matters. And are you planning on making anything else? I would love to. I really would love to create more Mirror's Edge content, actually. I was thinking about maybe an Exordium animation, or we had another project in the works, me and some other people from the community. But yeah, we'll see. I do have a few ideas. Mavik, I guess, I'm not sure how to say this. Mavk asks, is this for a game you're working on or just a standalone project? I don't know how to make games. I'd love to learn how to do that, but so far no, I'm not making any games. Hybrid asks, if there were a new installment in the Mirror's Edge franchise, what would you like to see in it? I think linear would be better. I think the open world sounds like a great idea. Many games suffer from the empty maps and all that, and it's really sad because it takes a toll on the level design as well, which is a really important part of Mirror's Edge. If you play Mirror's Edge 1 even today, it feels so much tighter. Level design wise, you get to see a mall, you get to see the underground, you get to see all sorts of different environments that you don't really experience in Catalyst. The city is really, really beautiful, but I think it hurt the game more than it helped it. Also, yes, I would include multiplayer. I'm honestly pretty disappointed that a game company that makes 64-player multiplayer games on the yearly basically chose to have an open world with an asynchronous multiplayer feature. It was really weird. Like, it would be a lot of fun if you had co-op, or maybe other game modes like capture the flag, maybe tag would be really fun with a lot of people. Like, just imagine that, running around the city and trying to catch up to other people like that. That takes skill, that takes quick decision making. It'd be fun. I would also include a level maker. I think that would be a lot of fun, and it would increase the lifetime of the game tenfold. So yeah, these are just a few of my thoughts. I actually have a lot more to say on that, but I don't want to take a lot of time. Lati asks, wow, I can't believe this is fan-made. It looks like an official trailer. Did you use Source Filmmaker? I used Blender. Everything looks exactly like original character animations from actual cutscenes. So yeah, about that. That was all mostly thanks to Mixamo, which is this mocap library basically, which is free. And I really could not have done it if I didn't have that resource. Pichico? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. He asks, how did you come up with the initial idea of the project? So I kind of answered that already in the beginning of my video. It was basically just a song that I heard and I was like, oh, that would make a really good Mirror's Edge music video. And then I started thinking about animating it myself, and it sort of went from there. 31324831751 asks, what do you use to produce the music used in the trailer? So I found the music on a website called Epidemic Sound, which is basically a subscription-based website where you can download music that is royalty free. And the artist is called Formant X Music, and I just built on that. I just added some more instruments to make it sound more Mirror's Edgy. Stormbringer asks, is Nomad going to be in the project or some mention of him? No. I don't know, I liked him in Exordium, but in Catalyst he was really weird and cringy, and it was just not a very likable character anyway, so I don't know, maybe. He could be, I guess. Mates asks, do you have a team or are you the only person responsible for this? Very impressive either way. Thank you. No, I do not have a team. I basically made it all on my own. Dadobots asks, so is the series going to have a mix of the first Mirror's Edge game and Catalyst? I did get a lot of inspiration from the first game, but no, the story is a direct continuation of Catalyst. Cool. So that's all the questions from Reddit. Let's go to Instagram. Those Crazy Cousins on Instagram asks, Freefall, is it a prequel to Mirror's Edge? Is it supposed to be Catalyst? Is this supposed to take place before Catalyst? Yeah, no, Freefall mostly takes place a year after Catalyst. It has some overlapping with the story of Catalyst in the beginning, but that's during the prologue, so yeah, no, it's mostly a year after Catalyst. Axe Headshot on YouTube asks, did you use Android models from Detroit Become Human? No, although Aaron does look a bit like Marcus from afar, I guess, maybe not, I don't know. But no, I only used models that were already in the files of Catalyst, which I was able to export using Frosty. The Windigo Monster asks, was that the Omnistat logo at the end? No, that was the Black November logo, for reasons, which hopefully you'll get to find out in the form of a game sometime. So I think that's all of the questions that I have. I really enjoyed reading through your comments. I keep checking back every now and then to see if anyone new has commented. And I really appreciate all of the support that you've shown me. It was worth the effort. just seeing the community being this active and alive again. I am so glad everyone enjoyed it as much as I loved making it. I couldn't have done it without the help of my friends over at the Mirror's Edge community, as well as the tremendous work of the Frosted development team and the people over at DICE. Even though I kind of wish I could have done some things better, at the end of the day, I wouldn't change a thing. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. Leave a comment down below, as I will be checking those and replying, and make sure to join the Mirror's Edge subreddit, where you'll find links to all of the Discord servers that the community has created. Also, don't forget to use the hashtag #StillAlive and bring back Mirror's Edge to get the conversation going. And hey, if anyone over at DICE or EA is watching, please know I'm very eager to share my ideas with you and hopefully make another game. If you like my work and want to support my new PC fund, I have created a Ko-fi account, which I will link down below and also somewhere on the screen. But I'm also planning to start selling original artwork sometime in 2021. So if you're interested in that, keep a lookout on my socials. You can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, Reddit, as well as ArtStation. And if you like my videos here, why not subscribe? Thank you again for being a part of this and supporting me. It means the world, and I will see you later.